Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together.
Hey.
What's going on, beautiful? How are you?
Listen, I am well, thank you. How about yourself?
You know what? I'm hyped. I'm really hyped. It's a dope Sunday. It's beautiful out here in Atlanta. We have been asked to do the Queen Takeover one more again.
Yes.
This is number 9, sis.
That is so wild. Listen, and if you all are like, really 9? That means you need to go back and catch the replay.
Catch them old episodes. But
really
listen, respectfully, we are snatching mics one more again. The queens are taking over. So what's up, DBDS? What's up, family? What's up, newbies? To all the new subscribers, make sure y'all hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you get the reminders, not just for the next Queen Takeover, because we will be doing number 10, but just so you can keep up on all the wonderful content that we are sharing here on DBDS. But sis, I'm so glad to be here. It's been a minute. I miss you. How are you? You're glowing. What's going on?
Listen, I have definitely missed you as well. Listen, so life is good. There's been more clarity happening. Working on a couple of projects. Listen, okay. I feel like I need some water because she's a songbird, y'all.
Yes,
she has good words as well. You're doing a little touring with singing, so that's been really exciting. Connecting with new people.
Yes.
How about yourself? What's going on,
girl? So when was our last Queen Takeover? What was that? December? Because we did the last episode of the year, right?
Right.
I was in the midst of my savage healing journey at that time.
Yes.
And I would say I'm coming on the other side of it, and it feels amazing. Like, it feels amazing. I have lost 30 pounds. Okay. Look, I've lost other weight too, right? I have a new book coming out.
162 pounds of that. Okay. I'm just
no. Okay. Look, that's for backstage talk. Yeah. But yes, the Diamonds has a new book coming out on Tuesday. We're super excited about that. It will be released in Valid Transparency on Tuesday. And literally just out here vision. It's really looking for us. And so excited to chop it up with the queens tonight. So look, we got a topic. Like it ain't no regular topic. This is like, they went there. Yeah, we got one of those. Right, we got one of those.
Right.
Yeah. And so before you share what the topic this is, let me just let all of our brothers and sisters take a moment, share this live. We won't hear no excuses. Go ahead, click share. Come on, Mika, we'll wait. Put your weight face on. We're gonna wait. Look, I'm looking at them. I see you. Go click share.
Listen.
Share. Get some folks in here. Let them get in here. Because I promise you, what we're going to talk about, although it's the queens, we're going to have some perspectives that the fellas can appreciate, that the queens can appreciate, and it's going to be enough for some healthy dialogue. And so, as always, we're going to keep it respectful in the comments. If you a troll, go on and skip now because you don't want us to drag you during the show. That's not nice. We doing nice stuff on Sunday. We being nice. So please don't come up in the comments being crazy. We are all about enrichment, empowerment, and accountability. We trying to make love and relationships dope again. So share this live. Get your questions and your comments respectfully ready so that all the queens can address them. And we got some serious backup. It's normally like, 4 of us? We 6 deep tonight.
In real life. So you might as well go ahead and get ready for the heat that comes along with the flame tonight, baby.
Yeah, we got all the smoke. We do. But it's going to be good. I think it's going to be balanced. I think it's going to be multiple perspectives because everybody has had their own experiences with this. So I think it's just going to work. So go ahead, sis, introduce the topic so that we can get the other queens out here.
Yes, and hopefully this will be a great encouragement for you all to press share, call a friend, to phone a friend. All right, so for real, because sometimes people don't share. They're like, I don't know yet. I'm telling you, you can
safe,
trust
I promise.
Trust it. So our first topic is why screaming independent keeps you from dealing with a deeper issue.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
From the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
We ready to unpack?
I think we are. So let's get some help out here. Let's get some help. All right, I'm gonna bring out the first one, and it says you get our next queen out here. But I'm gonna go ahead and bring out. Listen, this sister is not new to the DBDS family. Y'all know her. Y'all know the professor. Where is my sister, Miss Tanisha Lavon? Yes. Hey, beautiful.
Hey.
What's going on? How are you?
Good. I'm amazing. How about you?
Come on.
Looking amazing as
you
always.
Look yeah.
You looking. What's been going on? How are you?
Everything is good. I literally cannot complain. You know, life is good. Kids are good. Career is good. You know, I literally have no complaints at all. None.
You look amazing.
And that's a blessing. It really is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Such awesomeness.
Okay, so again, you are not new to the Queen Takeover, nor are you new to DBDS, but there may be somebody who is not familiar. So please take a moment and introduce yourself.
So I'm Tanisha Lavon, and I have a group on Facebook called The Divine Feminine, which I started, you know, just for women who want to operate more in their feminine energy and to help them that already have masculine men kind of navigate dealing with their masculine man. I have my YouTube page where I do like live videos on certain topics. Normally it is relationships. I'm a holistic life coach with a focus on relationships, but mainly the masculine and feminine energy dynamic. So that's pretty much who I am. And then, you know, I'm all about women's empowerment, looking good, feeling good, helping women feel good, and look good at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And we love it because, you know, you gave me my whole life, honey. Yes. All right, Mia, who we got up next? Who we got coming out next?
So I think that I'm going to call out the smooth operator, Miss Cameron.
Yes.
So smooth.
So she stayed with the red lip. She stayed with a red lip. Hey, sis.
Hey, beautiful women. How is it going?
Well, thanks.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Right?
Glad to be back with you all.
Yes, we missed you.
Good to have you.
Miss y'all too.
So like Tanisha, you are no stranger to the DBDS platform. The family knows you, but for those who don't, go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself.
All right. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Cameron. I am a DBDS group moderator. I've served as co-host on lives as well as a part of the Queen Takeover. I guess by day, I serve as an advocate for adolescents with mental health and educational needs. So I say I serve because it doesn't feel like work. It's a passion of mine. And, you know, they say when you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
True story. We are so glad you're here. All right. We also have returning to us one of my favorites, because sis is all New York, just like myself, coming straight out of Harlem World. Where is Miss Janine?
Oh my God, you got me laughing before I even get here. Hello, my sisters. How are you guys? Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. It's a little dreary here in New York and Harlem, but that's okay because all the sunshine is right here.
Period.
Yes, I'm glad to be back.
Like Tanisha, like Cameron, like myself and Mika, they are not strangers to your face, your smile, and your gin that you dropping. But please let the folks know who you are.
Okay, so I am Janine Akana. I am, I am many things, okay, but I am an author, and I am now an author turned screenwriter. So I have taken some of my books and turned them into screenplays. So I like to write screenplays now. I started dipping into making planners and journals. So I do that as well. I do greeting cards. And it's interesting because I used to go by I am an author, but now I just do so many things. So now I just go by Denise's creative mind, because this mind is always thinking of something new and something creative. And that's it. So that's what I like to do. As I said, it's my passion. I love writing. I love when people read my stuff and smile. And I'm just can't wait to invite you ladies to that that movie screening when it comes out one day.
So here for it.
Yes. I'm here for it. All right, we got one more. Mika, you want to bring out the newest queen to join us?
Absolutely. Listen, if we had a drum roll, we would tap it, tap, 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 tap. Listen, this sister might be new to the mic, but she is not new to words. Listen, she is coming with more than what you know. We call her Lady Mel. Come on out, Lady Mel.
Hey, ladies.
Hey.
Hi. That intro, jeez.
Yes, welcome to the Queen Takeover. And I know you've been on DBDS before, but this is your first time joining the Queen Takeover. So please make sure our sisters and brothers know who you are.
Absolutely. So, hey, everybody. I am Melvin, also known as the MVP. I am, like Natima, part of the Diamond Riders. I am the VP of Diamond Operations. Go Diamonds. So I am an author, a poet. I am a serial entrepreneur. I am the CEO and founder of MVP Management. I am also a chef, baker, sneaker designer, you name it. I'm just, like I said, a serial entrepreneur. So I'm glad to be here.
Super dope.
And look, Mika, before we get started, I didn't even give you a chance to tell the people who you are. I was just so excited to get started. I skipped the process. I skipped the process real quick. Mika, please tell the people who you are.
Oh my goodness. Well, my name is Mika Soulful Songbird. Listen, I write music, I sing. I'm actually in the process of writing a book. I have a love and a passion for empowering women. I have a group called Sister Girl University that is poised for successful living. Listen, I am truly an advocate for children and just a lover of life. Listen, love a little fashion along the way. I'm also a cosmetologist. I guess I didn't say that. A makeup artist as well. And super excited just about this community and the connectivity. So thanks so much for this time and space. Love you guys.
Yes, well, welcome back, sis. I'm so glad you're back. Super glad you're back. So we got some heavy hitting topics tonight. I know you ladies are ready. We had some pre-gaming conversations already. There's multiple perspectives, and so of course, before Mika reintroduces the topic, y'all want to check and see who in the building. Do we have any family that's here? Anybody checking in saying hey that we should acknowledge real quick, or should we jump right in? Yeah, I knew they was here. They go one of my diamonds. Hey, Tiffany. Welcome, beautiful. Hey. That is the secret right there. Awesome. Thanks for joining the Queen Takeover. All right, Mika. So please tell our queens again, what is the first topic?
So the first topic is as follows. Why screaming independent keeps you from dealing with a deeper issue?
That's loaded. That is so loaded. Look, so I I want to hear from everybody, but that's such a loaded topic with so much to unpack. So I'm going to actually come to Cameron first, because Cameron is like our gentle, you know what I'm saying, like our gentle speaker. And so I want to get you to like rope him in first. Let's get him to come in and trust us. Go ahead and tell him.
Get them to trust us. I don't know about that. I might need settle. I might be quiet, but I'm quiet for a reason.
Okay.
And you know, screaming independence. I mean, you know, I can't help but, you know, we said we're going to be talking from different perspectives. And so I'll go ahead and jump in for those who do not know. My children's father and I, we divorced 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And so, and, you know, I shared this with Tremel, you know, prior to the show. I said, you know, today's show is going to be challenging for me because I didn't scream independence. I was actually terrified of it. Having come off of, you know, being married and had this family dynamic. And now I'm in a role where I have to be head of household. I have to be independent in order to keep the ball rolling down a different path. And at the same time, not only be responsible for myself, but I got 2 other people I got to be responsible for.
Right.
And so even though I had all of that and it felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders, I didn't have time to be like, I'm independent, you know, I'm doing this all on my own. No, I was quietly doing what I needed to do. And I continue to be quiet about it, you know, because at the end of the day, I'm creating this life. I don't need anyone else's input. I really don't care about their input. The only way I, you know, care about it is if I ask for it. But at the end of the day, like, this is my opportunity to create something for myself and my children based on my standards and no one else's. So, you know, when I hear screaming independent, it's like, you know, it's not a badge. Like, you know, to be like, hey, look at me, I'm over here doing this. Okay, great. So is everybody else. You know? So I don't expect anyone outside of me. I validate myself. So that's where I am with that one.
That's such a good point, though. Like, some women use it as self-validation. Like, look at me, I'm independent. I'm validating myself. Like, wow, that's a really good perspective. I'm gonna come over to you, Professor.
I had a feeling, but
yeah.
I was writing some things down, you know, as the thoughts were coming to me. And the first thing I thought was, when it said screaming independence, screaming to me is the first sign of the red flag. Okay, like, when you have to scream something, it says that there's no real validity to it. It's almost like you have something to prove. And I'm not sure if it's to yourself or others, but you definitely have something to prove, because being something and screaming something are 2 different things. When you are something, you just are. You don't have to talk about it. So it screams trauma to me. It screams survival mode. Who are you trying to prove a point to? What's the validation? What validation are you seeking from it? Because, like Cameron said, to me, taking care of your own bills and living, if you have to live alone or whatever, that's literally considered basic adulting. So that goes to show that it's not a natural role for women, because we want credit for it. We want credit for something that men do all the time without talking about it. People have to live. People have to pay bills. People have to wake up, go to work, pay a bill, take care of kids. It's a normal thing. So when you have to scream that it's something so great, like, I'm independent, I don't need nobody. Whose heart are you trying to speak to? And it feels like it's your own.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. That's real good. Right. Snaps to that, Professor. I'm gonna come over to you, co-host. Mika, I'm gonna come to you. You got to introduce it, but I want to hear what you think about it.
Well, the thing is, I oftentimes, I am very introspective when it comes to situations. And there was a point in time where I remember being challenged with, um, even I was writing a song about women being independent. And it was more so in the sense of um, being more dependent upon God versus being dependent upon you. And I didn't think that I was one of those women when God gave me that song. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait for them to hear this song. Like, yep, I'm ready, what I'm saying, to check these women and get them in place. And as I continue to write and look at myself, I was like, ooh, I'm one of I'm one of them. I was like, wow. But like in the same token, like I was really thankful that God helped to change my heart posture, because I thought that being independent was a good thing. I can do this myself. I can do that. I can, but it was so much of me. Like I was full of myself, and I didn't even see it as me being prideful. So now when I think about independence in that sense of like screaming it, I kind of agree with my sisters. If I have to tell you, well, I'm independent. I can do this by myself. I don't need you. It's like why is that? Why and how have you come to a place? How have you come to a place where you don't need any other person?
Right.
You don't need any other entity other than yourself.
Right.
I mean, and the truth is, no man is really an island. I mean, you can say that you can do everything by yourself, but whoever creates the electricity to come to your house, you still have to pay them unless you know how to do that yourself.
Right.
Um, but that, like, there's so much more that I could say in reference to this, but I think that sometimes we do have to take a step back and look at why we're trying to create a narrative outwardly for people, instead of looking at why or what's really going on within us, that we need to project certain things to other people.
Right.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That is so good. Wow. And you made such a great point. Like, I know for me, I'm like you, the introspection, always going inward. Me screaming independence was my defense. It was my way of saying, I've been let down so many times before. The only way to feel provided for and protected is to be independent, because I have trusted people and they let me down. And so now I'm screaming, no, I'm independent. I got this, really, because I'm afraid to be vulnerable. I'm afraid to depend on you. I'm afraid to let my guard down and allow you in my space and to trust you enough to take care of something that I've become accustomed to taking care of myself. So that's what that was for me. And screaming it, like Tanisha said earlier, it wasn't necessarily an announcement. It was loud action. My actions screamed, she is independent, stay off of her. Like, don't touch her, don't touch it, because like she got it. And that you just listen. All right, but I'm gonna come to our newbie. I'm gonna come on over to Mel, because I would have told too much of my business.
No, I hear you.
Mel.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. For me, being independent is not the problem. It's the screaming that's the problem. It's like, why do you feel the need to scream this to the mountains? Because things that are. Nobody has to say it. Nobody has to tell it. People that are rich and have wealth don't have to walk out every day and say, I'm rich, I'm wealthy. You see it in the things that they do. The people that have to show it put it on display all the time, is because in all honesty, they don't really have it. They just want you to believe they have it. And so this screaming independence is because truthfully, that's not really what you want. That's not really the position you want to be in, but you want people to believe it. So you're trying to you're trying to convince others that this is really what you are, when in fact, that's not what you are. Because if you really were independent, it would be seen in what you do. It would be seen in how you move. It would be seen in how you act. And then it wouldn't be taken as such offense when it's done authentic and naturally. So that screaming independent, you running from something, or you're trying to scream loud enough to deflect from something else. So maybe you got some daddy issues, you got past relationship issues, you got self-esteem issues, whatever it is that you have in you, it's like you're trying to scream over the voices in your head.
Right.
Woo!
Right.
Stop screaming.
Janine, are you listen? You ready to jump in? It's like double dutch, girl. Come on. Turn it, sis. Go on, get in there. Get you some.
You know I am, right? You know what's interesting?
I'm ready.
So, we talked about this the other day when we was, doing our pre-thing and everything. And I've totally, I don't even remember what I said the other day about this, but listening to all you guys and whatever, I've just changed the little things around. So I take it as a woman that's really screaming, I'm independent. She really is not independent. It's like she really wants someone to come in and take over. Because, most women, not saying most, but a lot of women, if you meet a man, it's like, oh, I'm independent. I pay my own bills. I do this and do that. He's like, well, why don't you let me do that? I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're independent, no, I don't need you to do that. You understand? No, I got it. But some women are just they want someone to take over. It could be because they're tired. They've just been doing it for so long and they're just tired. Or some just don't want to do it and they're forced to do it, and they're ready for someone to take over. So therefore they're screaming independent. I'm independent. So someone can say, well, you know what? You don't have to be. Let me help you. Let me help you. Right. And that's my spin on it today. I kind of changed. I did a 180.
No, but we like that. Come on, new perspective. Come on. And you know what, ladies? I want to present y'all remember old school cassette tapes? You was done with side A, you moved over to side B.
Flip it over.
Side B question to this. It's a follow-up. Mel, go ahead and add this to the thing. I want to know, for the women who feel the need to scream independent, because I know a lot of the fellas, I don't know all the men, but the fellas I know, they are paying for hookah and lashes, and you know what I'm saying? So in a sense, they do want a woman who's somewhat independent or not independent from them, right?
Right.
What do those women do then when they meet the guy that says, I don't want an independent woman? Because you can get confused. And we was talking about this. I was singing Neo. Yeah, Neo and Jamie Foxx talking about they want Miss Independent. So what are those women to do?
I think it has to be a balance, because at the same time, I know we had this topic before, as women, we're independent. And if a man comes into our lives, we have to know how to step back and let a man be a man. I think that's the issue that a lot of women have when they've been single for so long. Something needs to get done. You just jump into it. You just go into it because you're just on automatic instead of just, let me sit back and let him take the garbage out. Let me sit back and let him fix this and fix that. Sometimes, you got to let a man be a man. And that's just the bottom line. You have to let a man be a man, or make him think he's a man. But, but that's besides the point, You just have to. You have to. Sometimes, ladies, you have to step back and let them do what they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have.
So I'm asking you, Tanisha, what's a safe, what is a safe space for a woman, right? She don't need to scream that she's independent, but she is in her lifestyle depending on herself, right? She's a single woman, single mother, whatever, provider, protector of herself. How then can she transition without turning the dude off? That's not easy to just turn it off.
Well, one, I feel, two, what we talked about. The first one was, okay, when we scream it, anytime I hear that word, it just screams trauma. It screams hurt, I'm independent. I don't want nobody to help me. it just says, oh, sis, you've been let down, like you've been hurt. Like you said, you've relied on people and they haven't come through. As far as transitioning, I do know that is very difficult. I actually had to do that in my own relationship. Remember, my husband and I broke up and we had to recalibrate. And I had time to actually recalibrate my life without him. And that was, I think, one of the worst things that could have happened because we were separated for too long. And then I never screamed independent, but my actions did say it. My actions gave off a careless, if you hear, you hear, if you're not, you're not. And that turned him off. Now, if I was going into a new relationship and I had been used to doing everything on my own, the first thing that I would say to do is to let your guard down and allow him to help, allow him to step in. Don't push the hand of God away. When they do, you know how you want to prove that you can do it by yourself so badly that you'll push their hand away. Oh, babe, I got that. I'll buy this for you. Oh, let me get you go in a restaurant. Oh, here go the money. No, I got it. Just thank you, love. Thank you. And to start to learn to receive again in general, not just from the man you're with. Learn how to receive from life again. When you go to the gas station, somebody say, oh, girl, you look beautiful. Thank you. Not, oh, this whole thing, it was only $5. You look pretty. Stop pushing the gifts away, whether they're gifts of love, compliments, security, money. It doesn't matter what it is. The bottom line is as a feminine, you have to learn to put yourself in receptive mode again. And it's not easy, but it's doable.
That was so good.
That is so true.
Wow.
Because we do that. We all do that. Oh, I don't need that. No, I don't. I got it. No, I got. They want to take a bag for you from the grocery store. No. It's not that heavy. Just give the bag up. Listen, I still do it sometimes because in my mind, I want to help so much that I want to take on. And that's not the help they need. And that's the help we think they need. That's not the help they need.
Yeah. Mel, you have something else to add to that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like women that fall into this group, sometimes we feel or we make the mistake to feel like being independent means you cannot accept help. And that's not the case. So I think with these songs that you're mentioning, like this phase where everybody was screaming, Miss Independent, I want an independent woman. I still think that's true. Because I think a man doesn't necessarily want a woman that comes with nothing. Like you just come in with your hand out and you're not bringing anything to the table. They want women who are self-sufficient. They want women who know how to take care of a household. They want women who know how to handle their business. They want women that know how to be like, you know what, that business idea is not a good one. You should try this. So they want women that have an independent mind and can function. And then God forbid something was to happen, that this woman can hold it down. But they want a woman that in that same realm can accept help. So I feel like the women that have, as Natima, you said, that have been in this independent mindset for so long, but now need to shift. It's not that you need to now you have to now be dependent. You just have to, like Tanisha was saying, allow help. You can still be this same strong, persevering, prosperous, successful woman, letting your man pay for dinner or letting him open your door or letting him pay the bills or stepping back and listening to what he has to say or hearing what he has to say doesn't make you less independent.
Right.
And so I don't think that it's meant that men don't want independent women. They do, but they want independent women that will allow someone to help them. And we've confused it with independence with I can't accept help.
Yeah.
Right. Good, Mel. Very good. Yep. You're right.
Yeah. Good point. Mika, I know you have something else to add to that, and then we do got to check on the comments. I hear they are flooding in. So Mika, I'm gonna come back to you.
All right. Well, thank you. I love what you just shared, Lady Mel. I just wanted to say that it's okay as a lady not to be everything. And it's really not. One of the things that comes along with the independent mindset is that when people come into your space, then you almost look at it as a space that you have to provide for. So therefore, you don't really allow him, the man, to be the provider. And so we need to make sure that with the ways that we handle him, that we're always putting respect in the forefront, even when we don't agree with the way
Yes.
that he may move, even when he's moving too slow, according to the way. I always pay my bills. I pay all my bills by the second, you know. Now I like to pay him on the first, but the second is the grace period. You know what I'm saying? So if he's not moving according to the way that you would normally move, you like, because my credit score is at risk. You know,
It's not the
like
end of the world.
give him some grace, with respect. And affirm him in the things that he does do well, the things that he is doing in a timely manner. Um, yeah, so I know we got to get to the comments, but that's what I wanted to add. So.
No, that's so good. I hope that helps somebody. Thank you, Mia. That is so good. So yes, let's check out these comments, see who in the building, what the people saying.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, Facebook user. Hello. Okay, check.
All right. Quite honestly, I'm tired of being single. Here I am, been being single for 12 years now, nearly 13. Not that I have high standards or anything, but men just don't seem to be interested, as I have some pretty big problems with a troublesome past. A part of it is due to the fact that I like to be in control most of the time, and men judge me for that. I think I need a strong man to put me in my place. What do you think?
Ooh. All right, Tanisha, I saw your face. Tanisha, I saw it. Listen, you about to bust. Let me come to you first. Go ahead and help us.
There's so much going back here. Like, this is a lot. She's like, okay, she was single for 12 years, nearly 13. She doesn't have high standards, but she has a troublesome past. Now that can mean a lot. But a part of it is due to the fact that I like to be in control most of the time, and men judge me for that. I don't think it's more of a judgment, just as much as it is not a construct that they enjoy being under. Men are natural born leaders 90% of the time. And if they're not, and they enjoy going under your construct of control, they're not going to enjoy it for long, or in the long run, you're not going to enjoy that position that he's in. So the polarity is going to be off in general. And then the fallacy is always when a woman says, I need a strong man to put me in my place, because no man is strong enough to override your control. Here's the thing. Nobody takes your life. You lay it down. Okay. So it has to be of your free will. It can't be a man putting you in your place. It has to be you putting yourself in that place.
Yes.
And then riding with that. It's just, it's kind of like running north and south at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to get anywhere like that, And that's all I'm going to say, because this could go really deep, but, I know somebody else might want to answer.
Ladies, who else wanted to help this sister out? Mel, we'll come
Lady Mel.
And then we'll come to you, Cameron, after Mel.
Because, baby, I saw this, I read the whole thing, and then the last sentence, like you said, Tisha, I need a strong man to put me in my place. And everything else of the comment, that to me was like the red flag. If you've recognized that this is an issue that you have, why does he have to come and put you in your place?
Come on.
You've recognized this is an issue. So you need to do whatever internal work, or start the process of doing this internal work to fix this in yourself. Start making these changes. So if you start making them now, when you meet the man, these issues or the judgment that you're getting, you won't receive, because they'll start to see this change in you. Like, you're waiting, you're recognizing bad behavior, and you're waiting for somebody to come and give you a power in the hand and tell you, bad girl, don't do that. I'm like, no, the issue is you recognize it and you don't want to change, or you haven't made the effort to change it. And for me, in my thinking, if for nothing else, that's what the men see. It's not that you are controlling and you have this thing. They recognize that that's not a habit you're willing to change.
Right.
And then
They recognize that you recognize it.
Right. They recognize that you recognize it because you're presenting it that way and you're not showing any effort to be like, you know what? Maybe I need to let you do this. So you coming in with the gate like, this is who I am. I'm controlling. So the issue here is if you really want, you're tired of being single and you realize that you've been single because of this attitude and mentality, you need to make the changes to change this and stop doing that. Not waiting for a man to come in and save you. Because the man that's probably the strong man that you're waiting for, that would put you in your place, you might not like how you get put in your place.
They don't have time for that. They just use
not at all.
They'll leave real quick. Like, oh, this is what you want? All right, I'm out.
Right.
It's a training process. This isn't, cool.
Right. Because really what she needs to replace with strong is healed. You need a healed man. Because I promise you, sis, a healed man is going to recognize your trauma and he's not going to stick around. Because, and that's the thing, society says, I need a strong man. No, you need a whole man and a healed man. Because those are the men that are going to recognize, okay, this is so much deeper than what you're showing us on the surface. There's something there. Daddy let you down. Daddy wasn't there. Something deeper is why you are behaving the way you are, why you have to have control. And I promise you, he's not going to put you in your place. He's going to show you, which is probably going to piss you off if you like being in control. Because, hey, that was me, sis. 2 years ago, that was me. I had a control issue. I was a control freak. But it didn't take someone putting me in my place. It took someone leaving me where he found me. He was like, oh, this is how you want to be?
Oh, no.
I swear to God, that's how it works. Like, no, we got to keep it real because, again, a healed whole man is not going to tolerate it. He's going to say, okay, you're not willing to work on that? I got to go. I don't care how stacked you are, how fine you are, how smart you are, how much money you make. None of that matters to him. If he says, hey, this is your issue, are you willing to work on it? Because he'll stick around if you're willing to work on it. But if you're not willing to work on it, he's going to get you these, sis.
I'm sure it's putting you in your place. If he put you in your place with a backhand, I'm not sure that's the putting in the place you want. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful with the language and the words you use it. Because you said you was trying to put you in your place. Their definition of putting you in your place may not be exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Putting you up in a corner.
Man. But we appreciate your comment and your question. This is a safe space. You can be real. We hope that was helpful and not harmful. We're a little bit real, but we want to help you. So thank you for your comment.
And let us know if it helped.
Yeah. Hey, Joyce. Hey, Diamond. Hi. One of my Diamond riders. Wow. Thank you for being here.
Nothing is wrong with women who handle their business independently. However, it's crucial that they let down their guard and defenses to build a meaningful relationship.
Amen. Co-signing.
This is true. This is true.
This topic here is huge, DBDS Queens. I can only speak for myself. This independent woman concept has been a journey. There were times where I wore it like a badge of honor. Then there were other times where I could see it was a tremendous liability. I was born one way, but have had to become something different to be environmentally fit and efficient to get by in this world. It got to a point where I asked myself, do you want to be safe or do you want to be loved?
Wow. That's good. That is good. Wow.
Oh, Joyce says, looking beautiful as always. You will find your mate when you are not looking. Love yourself, do all other things you love, and he will find you.
True story. True story.
As a very successful Black man, with all due respect, When a woman says she's strong and independent, I hear I'm combative, argumentative, selfish, egotistical, and worst of all, very masculine.
That's a true story.
Those are the ones I skip over.
We said that. We said that.
Yikes. And we believe it.
Double jump.
Yes, we believe that. Wow.
My parents taught me that after they raised me, I shouldn't depend on anyone. Then I was a mother at the tender age of 19 and didn't have the full support from my co parent.
Yeah. Yeah. And if we can, ladies, let's pause right there. Oh, sorry, she has more to her comment.
It's the new way of saying, help me.
I think we're missing something.
No, I think that was in reference to the screaming.
Oh, gotcha. But I actually want to pause there and ask you ladies about that. You know, for a lot of us, that independence is upbringing, right? I come from two hardworking parents who literally that was their mantra. You do for yourself, you worry about yourself, you focus on yourself, you heal yourself, you grow. Everything was about self, was about you. And so it was a challenge for me to be less independent in a way that emasculated the man that I was with, but still, you know, hold my own, still be able to stand on my own 2 feet. So what do you say to those women who, you know, that independence is literally a part of their upbringing? It is a part of who they are in terms of how they show up in the world, how they operate, not intentional. Because a lot of us, it's not intentional. Literally, we have to unlearn, you know, and it takes a certain type of mate to want to help you to unlearn those things. So I'll come to you first, Mika, because I would love some scripture references. I would love some of what the Lord got for us on that. But how can women who were the Lord, who were brought up to be independent, right? How can, I don't want to even say how can they transition because Tanisha gave us that already, but what can they do? Like, what does this look like for them?
I may need a minute for that one, and yeah, come back to.
Okay, I'll come back to you. So I'll come over to you, Mel.
Oh, you jumped to me. Oh, okay. I think, I mean, kind of similar to what we were just saying. I feel like once you recognize it in yourself, it's on you to now figure out the steps or what needs to be done to start making that transition. A lot of us are taught that especially as young women, you know, Black and brown women, because of what we've had to endure and what we've had to go through. So it's like, listen, you got to fend for yourself. Like, you got 2 strikes against you. You Black and you female. So you have to, you know, fend for that. And then, you know, I come from a Caribbean background. And so it's all about, you know, making sure you have this and making sure you're on top of things. But being independent doesn't mean, you know, like I said earlier, that you can't accept help. So I think instead of having to teach yourself not to be independent, we have to teach ourselves how to accept help and understand that accepting help or accepting doesn't make you vulnerable. It doesn't make you any less strong. It doesn't make you any less of a woman or a capable woman to get help. And sometimes that innate thought of I can't accept help pushes you further and further away because now you're fighting a battle that you can't win on your own. So you're running your head into this wall over and over again, where it's like, if you just took one step to the left and there's a door. You don't have to keep banging through this wall to bust a hole in. There's a door, one step to the left, step over and walk through the door. But we just so determined to be like, nope, I gotta go this way, that will risk head trauma to get to the other side.
That's good. That's good.
Fatima, but you were asking something, and there was something I wanted to add to that, and I think it starts with us being more aware, especially with our parents too. Like, there are a lot of men that are raising their daughters to be the women they wouldn't want to marry.
Ooh, that part.
And it's unfortunate because they see what's going on. They see the guys that are out here and they're like, listen, don't depend on nobody, baby girl, go to college, get your education, do this. And then once she starts to do that, it is hard for her to try to revert because it came from her foundational growth in a sense. So it has become a foundational core value for her to have these things. And then to meet a guy and have him come up against your core value that your own daddy instilled, he's taking the place of your father when you marry him. And if daddy instilled this, then you're supposed to go with this. So I think a lot of times, I know for men, like I was fortunate to happen to grow up in a house where my father would always say, you know, marry a man that loves me as much as I love your mother. Your mother ain't never worked a day in her life. And he would always just say these things. He never pushed college. He never pushed independence. I mean, he drove me to school all the way up until I was about 21 because he didn't want me on the city bus. You know, just certain things that it was like, you know, it was instilled that the guy does this. I don't do this. I don't drive. I don't want to be in public transportation. It was just certain things. But when you've grown up and your father has said, learn how to change this tire because you don't want to depend on a man for nobody, and learn how to do this and learn how to do that. It's okay to know how to do those things, because I think it was Lady Mel that said, you know, listen, God forbid something happen. He don't want you to be, you know, despondent that you can't do nothing without him. But at the same time, we just have to know when and how to turn the switch on and off. When my husband's not around, there are things that need to be taken care of that he can call me and say, hey, I need this, that. I can do it. But his problem is when he is around and then I continue to do those things. That's where the conflict usually shows up at. So I think if we just learn to balance that and learn when to turn the switch off. When they are around, they are the masculine energy, and you sit and you rest and you chill, period.
That was good, sis. That was good. But ladies, it is time for a break. We still have 3 more topics to get to, and we are already into the hour. So let's go ahead and take a break, and then we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
We talk all the time, and you know, and really, man, I just give, you know, much love and appreciation to you for, you know, founding, you know, DBDS and starting it, man, because it's not normal. You know, there's so much banter back and forth, and you know, just like you and I talked earlier, you know, before we got on, who's going to raise the white flag first?
Hey! That's beautiful.
Hi, I'm so excited. This is my first Queen Takeover. Usually I'm in with the fellas, but I'm excited today.
Once again, I want to thank this amazing panel and much love to the DBDS family.
Mel, take it away.
Are you single? Do you know about DBDSsingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up today at DBDSsingles.com. Let's make love and loyalty dope again.
Yes. Love and loyalty, dope again. Look, for all of our listeners, viewers, if you are not a part of the DBDS family, what you doing? Go on over to Facebook, do a quick search, get an invite, subscribe, whatever you got to do to get in on the family. Listen, we'll take a look at you, make sure that you're good, and then we're going to let you all in. So make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, that you're following us on Facebook, on Instagram. Join the DBDS group. I'm telling you, you want to be a part of this family. It is dope. Even if you're not single, not looking for love, that's not your thing. If you just want to help push the love narrative, if you want to help push the loyalty narrative, come on and join the group. Go ahead and join the family. All right, Nika, we are ready for topic 2. Hopefully we'll get our sister right back. But while she's rejoining, let's go ahead and introduce topic 2.
All right. Topic 2 is why independence builds masculine energy.
Mm. Oh, this was a struggle for me. No, right? Like, but you know what? I don't have to be ashamed no more because I grew. I've healed in that space, and so I don't gotta be ashamed no more. But sis, Professor, you know you are our resident energy guru.
Right.
That's your lane. So I will come to you first. Go ahead and set the tone for us, and then I'll come to the other queens to comment on that.
All right. So the one thing, there's a slew of reasons why independence builds masculine energy, but one, as a woman, we toggle back and forth between left and right brain very easily. One is a creative side, one is a feminine side, one is a receptive side. The other one is more linear, logical, and focused in energy. And because we toggle back and forth between the two very naturally, very easily, almost from moment to moment, when you're in independent mode for such a long time, you learn to build. See, the masculine energy is the builder and the developer of this world. That's what the masculine energy is here for. It's here to build and develop. So when you're in independent energy, you go more left brain and you become in a more logical building and developing space. So being in that phase, meaning like you got to take care of everything. You got to think of everything. You got to be logical. You can't get emotional. It's not time to cry right now because things need to get done. These kids need to get fed. I have to work, make money, provide, pay the bills, have a budget. Everything. Did you notice everything that I just named? There is no room for emotion or creativity in that. And that's where your feminine space is. So when you're in that phase for longer than pretty much a few months, you almost go into autopilot in that phase. And that's how it builds masculine energy. So when a man finally does come around, you're so used to operating in that space, it is very hard now to toggle right back to femininity, to receptive mode, to creative energy, to emotional energy, because you've been operating in that one for so long. You have to almost retrain yourself to step back.
Come on, Professor. I'm here with my notes. Like, okay, that was so good. Yes, I want to come to you. I came to you for the last question, but then you need me to come back. So I'm coming back now on this question, and then I'm gonna go to the other ladies.
Well, listen, I mean, the professor pretty much, she pretty much laid it down. But I think that pretty much whenever it comes to how a woman operates, I kind of agree with just the fact that like when you're used to doing things and you're used to having to do so much, it's challenging to step back. And if you've never really been in the presence like of a man that was secure within his masculinity, where you're not feeling, because we don't oftentimes say it, but like sometimes hindsight, we look at it and we say, you know what, I was really overcompensating for his lack thereof of stepping into his masculine energy.
Yep.
So it's like, so then it's like, if I didn't do it, then how is it going to get done?
Right.
Kind of thing. So, yeah.
I want to go to Janine and then Cameron, and then we have more comments. And so I definitely want to make sure that we're staying engaged. So Janine, I'm going to come to you first to respond to this. Why independence builds masculine energy?
Well, as a person who's been single for some time, I'm not going to say how many years, but some time. It's like everyone say, it's automatic. You can't think about it. You just get up. I do what I have to do. I know it has to get done. And, if someone came into my life right now, it would be a big adjustment. I'm sure I probably would turn him off. I'm sure I would, you know. But again, it goes back to me, me saying that I have to take the step back and then I have to let a man be a man. It's like, if I say, he say, well, let's go out to eat, okay, I might say, stepping back, you pick the place, let him make the choice. And if it takes too long, all right, let's go so-and-so, like, I don't have time. Like, let's just do this. Okay. And I mean, I know that's how I am. I am impatient, and I know love is patient. And as I've gotten older in years, my patience is, it is gone. Okay. And so I know that's going to be a big struggle for me, is having patience, having the patience and, letting him be who he needs to be. It's going to be hard. So I'm about to be calling on you ladies, screaming SOS, help, I need help, because, like I said, it's all I know what to do. It's all I know, so but we'll see. We'll see.
It is funny.
Cameron, I want to come to you before we go. We take a pause and go to the comments. Why does independence build masculine energy? And what's something the ladies can do about that?
It builds independence, just like Tanisha said, independence builds the masculine energy, because masculine energy is rooted in doing versus feminine energy that's rooted in being. So when you're in doing energy, you're focused on goals, you're focused on achieving, focused on building, you're rooted in logic and reason, versus feminine energy that is intuitive, it's allowing, it's receiving. So they're, like Tanisha said, they're on opposite ends of the spectrum. And, for a woman who is heavily rooted in masculine energy, because let's get it straight, everybody, even the men walking around there, they have feminine energy. We all have it. I mean, it's just the law of nature. We have to have it. It's just nature. But the balance between the two is harmony. And so, for me, speaking personally, I know I'm tapped into my masculine energy when I have to get things done around the house. Now, how much energy and effort I want to exert towards doing that depends on me shifting into my feminine energy and reaching out to those amazing men who are in my life and saying, hey, this is what I've got going on. Would you be able to help me?
Right. That's good. That's good. I appreciate that. And I actually have I got another side B. To this question, but I want to spend some time in the comments, and then we can come back to my B-side question to this topic. Let's check out these comments. I think we saw that one from before.
As an emotional, mature man who knows what he needs, men like to have never said, we want an independent woman. We want someone who is interdependent, but she can be independent when an emergency arises.
I like that.
I didn't accept help from my neighbor to get my shopping cart up the stairs the other day. I don't like feeling exposed and vulnerable.
Yes.
Wow.
That's where it stems.
Transparency.
Carl says, y'all bringing that fire.
Hey, Carl. Hey, brother.
Move from independence to interdependence.
Agreed. That's good.
Emotionally mature men have never screamed for independent women. We want a woman who can be interdependent with us and be interdependent in case of an emergency. Floyd Gentle says, when my wife is feminine, it allows me to be masculine because I am not in a battle in my home. And as a result, she is truly being who she is created to be. And as a result, it allows me to show up
Yes.
more as a man.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you, Floyd. My mantra at the moment is I am not a strong Black woman because this is what was instilled in us to be go getters. I'm sorry, this is what was instilled in us to be go getters, independent, hardworking, and not need a man, etc. And this exudes masculinity. And I'm not involved. Um, After a lot of healing, my vibe right now has been peace, soft life, and abundance.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Mhm.
In the past, I was told by my exes that I always want things my way. I was in my masculine all along, and these actions seem harmless in a masculinist
Galena.
head. But until she takes accountability and sees them for what it is, it won't change. Women who man bash are ones who prefer authority over their man will continue to drive good men away.
True story. Wow. That's a true story.
This world is so confusing. One minute you're being told to be independent and not rely on a man, and the next you're being told you're too masculine, and men don't like that. I'm exhausted. Can Jesus come already and end this whole thing because it's honestly too much? I can't. Let the church say amen.
Amen. That is
No, it's true.
Not Jesus come, no.
Right. I don't know if I'm ready for that, but
Oh, seriously.
that
can
is
be,
so true.
It can
That
be
is so true.
confusing. Yeah.
My masculine energy is so prominent that I gave it a name. His name is Quentin.
Phoenix.
gotta be.
My ain't staying cute. You cheating. You are cheating.
I could not.
Great show, DBDS Queens. But what if you have no choice but to stay in your masculinity to get the man that you want? Does that display confidence? Let's be honest. Half of them are gay, the other half are transgender. Most of them are in jail, married, in the military, and we outnumber men 3 to 1. And quite honestly, I don't have to chase no man, but what other advice can you give me to find a good man?
Stop clutching over there, Tanisha. All right. So hold on.
I'm like cracking up inside. She
Yeah,
don't want
me too. Wait.
want
Before we answer this, sister, listen, we want to speak for DBDS. This is a comment of someone who is a part of our family and a part of the show. These are not the views of DBDS. Some of her question or part of her question could be considered offensive, but I just want to make it clear that that is not how we feel. We don't feel that most men are homosexual or transgender or locked up. We don't believe that. That is this person's opinion, which is okay. So I just want to clear that up because y'all know sometimes people will blame the whole platform when they feel like all men are gay. No, we didn't say that.
No, I ain't say that.
Disclaimer. Right, disclaimer, real quick. Okay. So the one thing we're going to answer your question, sis, but we're gonna break this down, and I hope.
Come on, PR.
Y'all ask for our advice. Y'all get everything that comes with that. So that's accountability, correction, and the advice, the applicable advice. Okay. So I just want to make sure that y'all are okay with that. So before you pose a question, make sure that you're ready to get the real, the raw, and the relevant feedback to your question, because sometimes it's not what you want to hear. So Tanisha, you was clutching over there. I saw you clutching. So I'm gonna come to you first, and then I'm gonna come to girl.
Like what?
She's taking eyebrows. So I'm gonna come to her next. But go ahead, T.
So I mean, there's just a lot of like contradictory statements in here. Like, what if you have no choice to stay in your masculinity to get the man you want? And I've never heard of that in my life, to stay in your masculinity to get any type of man, because okay, so here's the thing, and I don't want to take up the time, but if you want to stay in your masculinity to get a man, that man is going to be gay, because men don't like laying with other men. So you can't stay in your masculinity and say that that's how you're going to get a man. You're not going to get a man in your masculinity at all. That's number one. Two, the last thing is, I mean, first, the disclaimer at the top, yes, not going to repeat it, but we outnumber men 3-1. And quite honestly, I don't want to chase no man. But what other advice can you give me to get a good man? The one thing I would say is change your attitude. That's what I would say. You can't have a negative attitude or a negative conversation going into something and thinking that the universe is going to give you something back out of it. You have to be positive. You have to be looking, growing within yourself so that you can get what you say you want. Because if you want what you say you want, you're not ready for it. That's why it's not coming. The reason it's not coming is because you haven't done the work within yourself to get what it is that you require from him. Yeah. So one, it would have to start with a little bit more positivity. I don't want to chase no man, but give me some advice. The advice is, one, just be positive. Start there, because at this point, there was a lot of negativity in that point, in the question, that it's kind of almost like there's a lot of work to be done. So the first thing that I would say as far as the work is take accountability for the fact that your attitude toward it is very negative. Yeah. So get positive, and then call one of us for coaching, and then we'll get you through the rest.
Period.
Because there's a lot.
Yeah. I'm gonna come to you, Janine, and then you, Mel.
You know what? Honestly, being single to a certain extent, I get it. You know, it is hard finding a good man out there. It is hard, you know, and I don't think that I walk around, you know, with this negative attitude or, you know, saying that, you know, I just live my life, you know, and, you know, they say, you know, just live your life and he will come. To a certain extent, I say that's bullshit, because I've been waiting a long time and he still ain't came. That's me being okay. But you know, that is great advice, you know, that you gave. You know, you do have to change your attitude, you know, and I know I'm working on that, you know, changing my attitude. And I know it was one time, just to tell you a little quick story, you know, people say that I always look mean and I don't look approachable, and that's why men don't want to talk to me. So I never forget one time I went out and I was at a bar and I was like, with a smile face, like, I'm like, you look stupid. You know, you really look stupid. You know, trying to give off that positive energy, but it's just like, you know, and anyone who came to me was like, okay, what the hell is wrong with this chick over here? So that didn't work either. You know what I mean? But I get it. You have to be positive and think that, you know, he's out there. He will find you. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You know, but I also will say it's nothing wrong with being single. Not everyone is meant to be married, have kids, and all of that other kind of stuff. Live your life and enjoy it. And if he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Life is still good.
Yeah. Mel, I'm gonna come over to you. I know you have something to say on this one.
Sorry, my dog is out there. I don't know what's happening. He's having a whole fit. Sorry. But so I do want to address the young lady's question or comment, and then I do want to just say something on the topic. So I think for her comment, my first question is going to be, what kind of man do you want? Because her comment was, what happens if you have to stay in your masculine energy to get the man that you want? So my question is, what type of man do you want? Because if you want a man who is in his feminine energy and who is okay with you doing everything and you're okay with being a lead,
It could
then
work.
you can stay there. So I'm not sure in her statement, but if she feels like that's where she needs to stay to get the man that she wants, then the man that you want or the man that you're going to get in that state is going to be a man that's in his feminine energy, or a man that is okay with being, the submissive, so to speak, or allowing you to do everything. And so the question would be to her is that what you want, and is that where you're okay with being the man, quote unquote, in your relationship? If that is, which is fine. I know some women who like a less masculine male, and there are some out there. If that's what you want, then continue to stay in your masculinity. I will say that unfortunately there are far less of them. So you are going to find a much harder time in finding a man that is okay with being in that. And I say man, not male, because you can find some males that are okay with being in that. You're going to be very hard in finding a man that is okay with sitting in that space. So the first thing would be, you need to clarify with herself what type of man you want. And then once you figure that out, then you can understand the type of woman you need to be to receive or to attract that man. Because as Tanisha said earlier, the men that you're going to attract in this state will be men who are okay with being the female or the feminine in that relationship. And I'm not quite sure, based on your comment, that that's what you're looking for. That was my comment, but I did have a comment about the overall topic about independence, screaming masculine energy. I'm gonna get a little scientific and biological for a second. I think what we fail to understand, or don't even pay attention to, is that in a couple, a man and a woman, there's only one Y chromosome amongst the two of you. He has it. Women have two X chromosomes. You were not built to carry anything related to what men are supposed to do or have, or their responsibility. So when you take that on, you in essence take away that one Y chromosome that exists and have put it on yourself now. So you've completely negated his ability to be able to be a man in that. So now you've taken on a chromosome that you were never meant to have. God gave you two X chromosomes for a reason, because there are certain things you're just not supposed to carry.
Come on now.
You've now removed this Y chromosome from your factor, which is why it becomes so uncomfortable for you, why it becomes such a place of confusion for you, because it's a position that you were never supposed to be in the first place. And so there's a reason why, the decision of the sex of a child comes from the man. He's the only one that has that chromosome. He's the only one that can create that force. And so you're putting yourself in a box that you don't fit in. So it's cramped, it's tight, it's uncomfortable. Your knees up in your chest, you can't breathe, you can't stretch, because you're not in the space that you're supposed to be in the first place. And so that's where that independence, you're carrying something or pulling something that was never meant for you to have in the first place. So now you've built this masculine energy around you, because there can only be one Y chromosome in a mix. There can only be. So either you gonna have it or he gonna have it, but y'all both can't have it at the same time.
I'm so glad I remember that from high school too.
Yes.
Sorry, I just have to put my female background real quick.
Yes, I remember that. That was good. That was good, ma'am. That was good. That was good. Wow.
I'm over here talking to the engineers. They got questions. So we do have some more comments, and then we got to go into another break. But I did have a quick B-side question. I can only ask maybe one or two of you to respond, because we do have to move forward. But we talk a lot about, masculine energy, which is a default for some women. I'm not making excuses, but some of us do struggle with operating and flowing in between. It is something that I had to learn. The same way I was taught and raised to be more masculine, I had to unlearn that and then relearn how to flow in between my masculine and feminine energy because of my independence. When you are the one providing for yourself, protecting yourself, A lot of that is, you know what I'm saying, is that innate feeling to just be more masculine. One of the things that I uncovered in therapy was the real reason I was so masculine all the time was because I was constantly protecting little Tima, the little girl, the younger girl inside of me. And so even in relationships where the man proved that he could provide and protect me now, I still struggle with releasing that masculine energy because I was so busy trying to protect the younger version of me that was not protected when she should have been. And so, anyway, I want to help women who are struggling with flowing in between the masculine and feminine energy while they're single. One of the things I did in the last year working on myself was intentionally flow in feminine energy, whether there was a man or masculine presence or not. I made sure that I did that. Some of the things that I did, I spent more time in nature. That's why we call her Mother Nature. It's very feminine. So I spent more time in nature. I wore more feminine colors. I stayed around more feminine women. I actually prefer to be around my married friends. Now I know some of you church folk gonna say, no, married women shouldn't have single friends. Shut up. Because how else are we gonna learn how to act and flow in that space? And so I actually cling to my married friends because I'm watching them flow in and out of those energies. So, ladies, what are two of these? How would you recommend? Because, like Nika, we do enough cutting. Let's start doing stitching after every topic. What's a way that we can help the ladies to flow in between the two, whether they got a dude around or not? Anybody?
I'll start with that. You hit on an important part. Basically, it's like at some point you're going to have to hit the pause button on everything external and focus on the internal. And really sit down and have a conversation with yourself, like a real hard conversation. Ask questions like, do you know, trust, and believe that you are not only deserving, but worthy of the man that you say you want?
Yeah.
And constantly being out in the world as a masculine ball of energy, it's a fake mask. And at the end of the day, it's a mask that's, like you said, protecting a very vulnerable and wounded part of yourself. But the only way you're gonna have that self-awareness and that self-mastery is to get quiet, tune everything else out, and go within.
Yep.
That's good. That's so good. Thank you for that. That is so good. So we have more comments and another break. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll move on to our next topic.
Okay. Is this where we're beginning? Okay. Oftentimes, because of how many women have had to assume both roles, it can be difficult to change. But when a woman decides that she is ready for a relationship after she has done the work to heal, then she also has to admit that there are some things that she has to unlearn, to relearn, to then be in a place that she is ready to receive that man that she has been praying and asking for. But that man will not show up until then. You have to become what you desire to attract.
Very true.
That's a good one.
Beautiful sisters, substance and beauty, more DBDS Queen Takeovers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Floyd says, when I met my wife, I was a man who wanted to lead, but because she was ready, I had never had to battle. I am allowed to function in that role, in the role that I was born to function in. and she is allowed to function in the role that she was born to function in.
I just have a
Right.
quick.
Go ahead.
I just want to say to what you quick comment to what you said earlier. I think one of the things we also need to understand is that there are things that we can do that I guess we're pushing in the masculine, but you can do them from your feminine energy. So you can still protect from your feminine energy. You can still reassure from your feminine energy. We don't have to do that from a masculine standpoint. So a common statement is less of what you do, but more of how you do it. And so I think sometimes because we feel like, these are masculine roles and we step all the way in instead of understanding how we can do those same things from our feminine energy, because there's a way that we can do those without taking over the masculine, standpoint of it. That was it.
You know what, Natima? I want to also say to the question you had earlier. I went through this myself where, my husband and I separated, and I remembered I had that masculine energy, and that's what needed to shift. I was aware enough to know that it needed to shift before he came back, and I did those same things that you said. And what Cameron said, like, I realized, okay, this is the problem. So now I think it was Cameron who said she needed to go in. You need to go inward. I started meditating more. I started praying more. I started journaling. I started dancing. I started spending more time in nature. It's not an external work like hair, nails, makeup. It was more like an internal cleanse of, like, I literally shifted everything. I wanted moments of uncomfortability in those moments. Like, I wanted to feel vulnerable. I wanted to feel open. I wanted to feel soft. I wanted to cry. And there were so many things that I had stopped doing. Like, I stopped crying. I stopped caring. And once I opened it back up, it was almost like the floodgates opened back up. And it wasn't until then that he even called me back. Like, once it was almost weird, because a guy can sense when you're in your feminine energy. You can't pretend it in front of them. You can't lie about it. You can't say, oh, I'm feminine again, look at me. They can tell. They can sense it. They can sense it through conflict. They can sense it through your energy being around you. So you really do have to go inside yourself and heal that past trauma, hurt, resentment, whatever it is that is causing you to be in the forefront, that is saying, listen, the reason I'm hurt and the reason we have these walls up is because of being previously hurt. It's usually a trauma response. Vulnerability it's not scary if you've never been hurt being vulnerable. The only reason vulnerability is scary is because when in your most vulnerable moments, somebody or something hurt you. So now you build a cast or a scab to protect yourself. And until you're willing to release the scabs, put yourself in ICU, bandage yourself up emotionally, and then come back and get out into the game, I think then, you'll experience more healing. You'll experience more people coming into your cipher, like Janine saying, just being out and just smiling and just, don't smile weird and look crazy. And he like, what's she smiling for? Ain't nobody said nothing funny. But just being out and being your authentic, smiley, beautiful self, just being, like Cameron said, doing is masculine, being is feminine, just being who you are.
That's good. That's good. But can I just say one thing though? But knowing and talking about what we've said today, a woman right now who's raising a daughter, how will she raise that daughter to not be so masculine but yet be independent? What do you tell someone out there now who's raising daughters? Or what should we tell them?
I think we be honest. To be honest, like I don't know if the question was for me, but I would say, to be honest, the one thing that you could say, like for instance, when I grew up, my father worked a lot. He worked out of state, so my mother would only see him like once or twice a week. And I just remember her still being at all of our games, all of our track meets, all of our dance stuff, and she would literally say, like, "This is not it. Like, listen, we don't want to travel alone. You need a man here." So just being honest, like, this is what I have to do, but this is not what I desire to do. So instead of screaming independence and saying, oh, we're fine, I could do this all by myself, say, baby girl, it would be better if a man was here. It would be better if we had assistance. It would be better for us if we had help, so that she doesn't grow up and adopt the same rhetoric.
Right.
Realizes like, whoa, this was hard for my mom, but she did say, you know, such and such, as opposed to my mom did it all by herself and she said she was fine, but your mom was lying.
Right.
It wasn't fine. There was nights she cried in that room and you never saw her. There were nights she was upset because she was overwhelmed, but she didn't want you to see that. I think that being more honest and vulnerable, even with our kids, especially our daughters, as it relates to that, I think that might change the narrative of them growing up.
Right. You don't want to repeat the cycle. You don't want them the same way. So it has to stop somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
And I can personally speak to this because I have a 17-year-old daughter. And even when my children's father and I divorced, he was still involved with them. Like, that was not even a topic of discussion that he wasn't going to be involved in their lives. And, you know, when situations have gotten tough for her and she's come to me, I've encouraged her to go to her father as well. Get another perspective on things. You know, that way she's not looking to me as always being the strong pillar in her life. That it's okay for me to go to my father and ask for advice. It's okay for me to cry to my dad. And, you know, I'm really proud of her as well as him, because they've stepped up and, you know, in ways that showed me that, okay, they're really, they have a really good relationship together. Even though he's not physically in the home, he has a presence in her life. And they've had conversations and he shared with me, hey, she said X, Y, and Z, you know, just want to be, you know, be on the lookout for this. And she's come to me and said, yeah, I reached out to dad, blah, 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 whatever. And so that makes me happy because I am the black sheep in the family. Before my father passed away, my parents were 1 month away from their 45th wedding anniversary. My grandparents married, aunts, uncles married. So, you know, divorce was a tough decision. It wasn't an easy one. And, you know, so I recognize what the stats are, what they look like for our children specifically. And I don't want that for them. I wouldn't have chosen divorce at the altar. I mean, that wasn't an option for me. But as life would have it, it became an option. It became my choice or our choice, you know? So I'm very cognizant of that. And I do have those hard conversations with her. I have dated. I have been in a committed relationship with a man, and he was around. So she's seen me be involved with a man. And I'm currently seeing someone, and she's met him. So I don't hide things from my children. I keep it very real with them. Appropriately, age appropriately.
Of course.
Yeah.
So it's a balance. Definitely it's a balance. And you just have to be aware because they are watching us.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Cameron. We do have to get to a commercial break, and then we obviously have some more comments. But just to respond to Janine, I have 2 little girls that I'm raising, and the first thing I can say is heal first, right? And then just lead by example, because children do what you do, not what you say do. I don't care what come out your mouth. They're not going to hear any of that. They're going to watch your actions, and that's what they're going to emulate. And so in my past relationship, unfortunately, I was more masculine. I was a control freak. I had a lot of unhealed issues. Whereas in this relationship, my daughter does get to see me be feminine and me be vulnerable and me not have to control everything. So it's leading by example, you know, and she likes to do so much more. Because again, I can show up in my feminine energy and flow in between the two. When I'm paying bills and when we're out in public and I'm the protector, she sees a more masculine version of her mother because I have to be, right? But when we're home and it's safe, she gets to see her mommy flowing in her femininity. And so that's, you really just have to be the example for your daughters. You can't say, all right, baby, make sure when you get older, you pick a man. No, because she's not going to do that because you're going to tell her that, but she's going to pick exactly what she saw you choose. Exactly. And so now that I've healed and I've chosen differently, I've attracted differently, my daughter can watch me interact differently. So that's my advice. But let's go ahead and get to these 2 commercials and then we'll be live. Welcome back. Welcome back. So before we go into the last topic, we actually had 2 more for y'all, but when you having a fire show, you don't always get to fit them all in. But we do want to come back to the comments really quick before we go into our, what will have to be our final topic tonight. Any comments for us? Nothing? What? Y'all quiet now.
Oh, you know. No, they're not. They're not. So Floyd says, Cameron, what you are saying is right on point. It is important that you tell them the truth. I need me a sister like you.
Never got bids.
Right? Let's go. All right, ladies. Topic 3, which will have to be the final, but that's okay because you know what? That just opens the door for Queen Takeover 10. Okay, we gonna do number 10 pretty soon.
Woo! Wow.
We left off, right?
Wow.
These joints. That's crazy. But Mika, what is our next topic?
Is struggle love real?
Oh Lord.
Oh, I love me some
Ooh. Ooh, there's so many definitions to that.
Right.
So many different definitions to that. Okay, Cameron, because you smiling, I'm gonna come right over to you. I see you smiling and head nodding. Let's go. I'm coming right to you.
I'm gonna keep this one real short and sweet. Struggle and love is like an oxymoron.
Come on, somebody.
And you know, they just don't go together.
Yeah.
In my world, they just don't. Those 2 words do not. And you know, for the masses out there, if you go by Webster's dictionary, you know, love, if you look up the definition of love, you do not see the word struggle.
Mm-hmm.
If you go by one of my favorite biblical definitions of love, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 through 13.
Oh, come on now.
You don't hear struggle. You hear patience, kindness, enduring, like always faithful, hopeful. Like you do not hear struggle.
Right.
So struggle love, I can't subscribe to it. I will not subscribe to it. It just does not work. Now, if you're talking about being in love with someone, in a committed relationship with someone, and you all experience struggles, that's actually an opportunity to show up. That is a call to become interdependent, as one of our viewers said. So, yeah, those don't go together for me.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. All right, I'm gonna come to you, Mel.
I guess the question is, are you struggling for are you struggling for love, or are you struggling in love? Because those are two different things, similar to what Cameron said. So struggling in love for me is okay, because I feel like if you and, as she said, if you and someone are together in any relationship, there are going to be hills and valleys and ups and downs. There's going to be, times where your relationship is tested, and for whatever reason, you're two separate people coming together that have their own life experiences that you're going through. So there will become struggles in life, whether it be somebody lost a job or somebody passed, whatever that is, struggle in that, and you guys work through that and build on your love and build your commitment and your relationship together. That struggle in love is okay. Struggle to love is a whole nother thing. And I'm like, if you're fighting to get someone to give you the things that you need in a relationship, or you're struggling to keep a relationship that the other person is not giving you or doesn't want to be there, that struggle love, that's not real. That's not love. So
Right.
I guess that's where I'm at with it. Is you got to determine, are you struggling in love or struggling to love? Those are two very different roads to travel.
Yeah. Tanisha, I'm gonna come over to you. You shaking your head and smiling, co-signing.
Well, because honestly, Mel kind of just took the words right out of my mouth. Like, it's kind of like, I don't even really know what struggle love is, because like it's like we're in the internet stage of life now, and they come up with these words and coin these terms, and I don't know exactly what the meaning of it is, because it's subjective. But like she said, if you're struggling inside of love with someone, meaning that your life, things that you're going through, somebody loses a parent, somebody loses a job, you guys are, working together to meet a common goal. There are things that are worth it in this life. Nothing really comes without a struggle. Nothing really comes without some type of sacrifice on some sort on your end. But if you're struggling to make somebody love you, you're struggling to make somebody stay that doesn't want to stay, you're struggling to get him to appreciate you, to get him to see the characteristics about you that you think are great, like, doesn't see it, I don't have it, I think you should let it go. She couldn't have said it better. Struggling in love and struggling for love are two separate things, and that's why I don't know what the term even means, like in the streets. Like, what does struggle love mean? Does it mean like ride or die? Does it mean like I deal with everything until I don't know, like, what they're talking about. So
yeah,
it's broad. It's very broad.
It is. And like you said, it's one of these trending phrases, and
I don't know.
And the only thing that comes from struggling love is like accepting someone's infidelity and then the materialistic things they give you after to supplement or to apologize, the things that they use to apologize with.
Right.
For me, me being a word nerd, the word struggle literally means forceful or violent effort. I don't want nothing that's forceful or violent attached to love. Like, no, thank you. Now, I believe there are challenges that come up in relationships in love, but a challenge is completely different, because a challenge is an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for, like Cameron said, to show up. It's an opportunity to really build and work together to make something better. But if there is struggle involved, you can keep it, because I've done too much work on me and healed to do anything that's struggle. I ain't struggling at work. I ain't gonna struggle at Publix. I ain't struggling. No, no, thank you.
Not
Keep
Publix.
on.
Right.
You like listen. If it's struggle to get into a party, I'm gonna sit this one out. Like there is no struggle in my face. Like it can't. I just can't do it. But Mel made such a great point. Like either way, there is going to be some back and forth, and that's
Yeah,
like
for
not
sure. Hills, valleys, all that.
it's too much. It's just too much. So I'm gonna come to you, Janine, because
Well,
your face, it's the faces. It's the faces for me tonight.
It goes back to what I was saying the other night. I took it as struggling in love, when we first talked about it.
Yeah.
And, I was saying that, I can appreciate a relationship in the beginning, we're struggling, you got $5, I got $5, what we going to eat?
Right.
$10 together, we go get the chicken wings from the Chinese place and fried rice and get a large iced tea. And, we got a meal, we put our stuff together. And then, 20 years from now, we going to look back. Remember that time we only had $10, we put our money together, I can appreciate that, I understand that, no one wants anything that comes easily. And that's even in a relationship.
Right.
I don't want a yes man. I don't want a man. If I say do this, yes, whatever. No, that's boring. I don't want that. I want a little something, a little give and take. And as for, it being for love, I'm just going to say, refer back to topic number 1 and get your damn independent and move on. Okay. That's it. That's it. Because you do not be get no man's attention, no relationship, no nothing. Be independent. Do what you got to do. And be happy. That's it.
Janine is sewn to that independence. Look, Janine, we appreciate the perspective. Listen, she's like, I refuse to let that one go. Mia, I'm gonna come to you. Come on, struggle love. What is struggle love? Is it real?
Well, listen. I mean, when I think of struggle love, I personally think of like two people that are already in a struggle that are coming together, maybe to help build one another up, or they believe that if they invest in one another, that this will it's the foundation of the relationship, not necessarily because they love each other, but they're more so it's a way to like survive is what came to my mind when I thought of struggle love. And so I think that those really only go so far when you're actually coming into a relationship based off of a need and not based off of a want or a desire. So because the truth is, and I guess because I've dealt with a narcissist, which I know people don't like, that term. But the truth is, if a person is coming in with having a need and, people of that caliber, they really look for sponsors. Okay. So they're going to go from you being able to meet a need to another one. So that was my take on that. And so I won't go too deep, but I will say the other thing is like, I know personally, I don't want to struggle for love. I mean, I was raised in the church. So, of course I can name scriptures, but one of the things that has been really like revolutionary for me is the fact that like God loved me first, and he loved me to the highest degree that I could ever be loved. And he gave it to me freely.
Yeah.
I personally am not willing to work to be loved. Like I'm not well, I'm gonna do this for you, then I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna do that in order for you to love me in return. Because I know that when I show up, love shows up.
Right.
All of me shows up, and I'm willing to give. I'm willing to serve. I'm willing to make sure that I handle my man with respect. So I need that love that I don't have to beg for, that I don't have to act like I'm clocking in to make sure that I'm getting the love that I really deserve, not when God has already freely given it to me. I'm just gonna do that.
Oh, good.
Amen, sister.
Well said.
Absolutely.
Well said.
Thank
And I agree with you, Mika. I don't think love is difficult, hard, or struggle. I think relationships are, right?
Yes.
Relationships can be challenging, relationships can be difficult. But to me, anything that has dis-ease, you need to let that thing go. Because
Yes.
to me, love is not that challenging. It's the relationship that's hard. And that's okay because you want to be able to build with someone when you bring two different people from two different
Yes.
backgrounds, values, and you're now trying to blend their lives. That's going to be challenging, right? It's going to be difficult. But the love piece is not hard. And we put so much emphasis on love is so hard, love hurts, love is unfair. No, it don't. It's the relationships and the people involved in the relationship. And so we have to be, adopting the mentality that we see in social media. You know what I'm saying? Social media is for the streets. I'm sorry. I don't care what nobody say. It's for the streets because y'all are taking on these attitudes that you read in memes and you read in other people's posts. And now you're having trouble. Now you're challenged. Now you're struggling. All because you didn't keep your thoughts pure to yourself. But that's a whole nother show.
Ooh.
Right.
Can I piggyback real quick?
Please do.
Listen, because just something you said just kind of like struck a nerve for me. Because the thing is, not in a bad way, sis, not a negative way. But I'm just saying, like, it got something for me because just thinking about the fact that, like, sometimes people feel like love is hard because love is not self-serving.
Come on.
So many times people get into relationships and they want to love, but they really want it to be about them.
Yes.
What can you give to me? How are you going to serve me? Instead of getting into a relationship where they've already obtained love, so now they're looking to serve, and they're wanting to know how can my life serve you better? You know, and if both parties are looking to serve, I mean, it's a win.
Right.
But the problem is you have a party that wants to serve and then another party that is just looking to serve.
Wants to take, right.
That part. Mel, I think you had something to say.
Amika like literally stole my thought because I was gonna say the same thing. Like, if two people are in a relationship and I'm concerned about you, and my main focus is what do you need, what's gonna help you, how do you need, and then the other person is worried about what I need. If we are worried about the other person, then everybody's taken care of.
Yes.
Right.
Everybody's good. Because guess what? I know that I don't got to worry about what I got going on because you got me. And you don't got to worry about what you got going on because you know I got you. But when we're not focusing on what the other person needs, then that's when love becomes hard. And like, we oftentimes want to love people how we want to love them.
Right.
Because we want to love them is not necessarily how they need to be loved. Right? And that's what makes love hard, because you're loving in your own self. Like, stop and ask somebody, what makes you feel loved? What do you need to feel loved from me? Because if you keep loving them the way you want and you keep hitting this wall, it's because that's not what makes them feel loved. Yeah. You can buy me all the gifts in the world and never spend time with me. That's not gonna make me feel loved.
Right.
Right.
It's not. But if that's how if for you, if your love language is gifts, then you're in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I'm loving, I'm doing. And the person's on the other side, like,
right.
So love, like Tina, you said, love is not, well, love should, let me not say it's not. Love shouldn't be hard if you're loving the right way.
Exactly.
It shouldn't. Relationships are going to have ups and downs and complications, but that the loving of the person shouldn't be what's hard.
Right.
If you're doing it the right way, it becomes hard when you're doing it from your own perspective and your perspective only. Is what becomes hard. And then, love, I guess, then there you get struggle love.
Literally. Right. Literally. Wow. So Ladies, we got a ton more comments, and then we're gonna have just enough time for our Jerry Springer moment. We are not gonna get to topic 4, but that's okay because we're gonna bring the DBDS family right on back, and we'll give them topic 4 and some more. So let's jump in these comments real quick.
Struggle love and the toxic baby daddy, baby mama culture is one of the main reasons why Black America is in the state that it's in now.
Come on.
All of this nonsense and these broken homes and everything
True story.
that
Yeah.
comes with this mess.
True story. Yeah. Thank you for that comment.
Dope topic, DBDS. For one, I prefer a woman to be there for me during my highs and my lows and don't dip out on me when times get tough. No relationship is perfect, and there'll be times when either myself or my wife will struggle, and it's not always financial. When you
True.
struggle together, it only makes your foundation stronger.
Yep.
Too many women refuse to invest in the right man due to this nonsense.
True
Agreed.
story.
Very true.
True story.
Social media, Black women who won't struggle with their man and marry up and nothing but social climbers. Me, where's my hiking boots?
I'm done. Come on, Truth. Come on. Oh.
Lloyd Gentle says, as a couple, we may not always be on top, but that is when you find out what the relationship is built on. If you can only be there during the good times, then you are in it for the wrong reasons.
Absolutely.
I do believe, though, that we should do all that we can to come out of whatever we are dealing with and to come out stronger than when we went in. But both people have to be willing to do what needs to be, I'm sure, done.
True story.
You ladies are dropping nuggets.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Floyd.
thank you. Good comments. Thank you all for your comments. Again, thank you for being with us. Thank you, Mel and Carl, for allowing us to snatch the mic respectfully and share from the Queen's perspective. So we got a few minutes, ladies. I just want your final thoughts, and we can hit them with the Jerry Springer moment. We had such a really deep topic today. We didn't get to cover all the subtopics, but overall, I think that somebody was helped, some perspective, was induced, if you will, or initiated. And so I'd love for you to give them your final thoughts. I'm literally going to go in the boxes. So I'm going to start with you, Janine.
First, okay. So my thing is, after the whole evening and talking, I guess you just got to make the change within yourself. Okay, that's the first thing. Notice it and make the change within yourself. Second, stop the cycle. If you notice the change, stop the cycle so that you don't pass it on to your daughters, and then they grow up and be this independent person and so masculine and everything. They can't find a good relationship. And I think my last thing is that overall, there's nothing wrong with being independent. There's nothing wrong with it. Just don't scream it out loud. Just don't scream it from the top and let everybody know. Hi, my name is Janine Akana. I'm independent. You don't have to do all of that. Just stop it. Just stop it, and then everything will be fine.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Janine. All right, Mel, Lady Mel.
My Jerry Springer moment or my final thought is to know that it doesn't make you any less of a strong woman or an independent woman to accept help. It is okay to let the guard down, take a step back, and allow someone to help you. It may actually push you further along your journey than trying to carry the load all by yourself. And it's okay to sit in your femininity. Femininity is attractive. It is the most beautiful thing that we have because guess what? No one can wear it like we can. So sit in your femininity and be okay. It doesn't take anything away from you.
Love that. Love that. Cameron, I'm going to come to you.
Such an amazing show tonight.
Yes.
So many gems have been dropped. And hopefully you recognized yourselves. Hopefully something resonated with you. We're not saying that independence is wrong, like Janine said. We're not saying that being in your feminine energy is wrong, like Lady Mel said. It's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. I guess my charge to you is to recognize why you feel it's important to scream that you're independent. And maybe recognize that, you know what, that's my cue that I probably need to do some inner work, basically. Why do I feel the need to shout this out to everyone outside of me? What is really being called on the inside of me?
Yes.
That's good, sis. That is good. Tanisha, I'll come to you, Professor.
So, this whole topic was actually amazing. And I hope that it actually helps some women that were watching in the audience tonight. What I want to say is, one, screaming literally independence, honestly, is a red flag. No, being independent is not bad. However, when you scream independence and you look up the definition of the word independent, it literally means outside of the construct of another's control, free to do well as you please, different things. And I'm an independent entity. I have no accountability to anybody but myself. So again, you don't have to scream those things. I think that wanting to be interdependent is better, meaning like two people relying on one another. The more you scream something, the more you're going to attract that and its the results in your life. So I wouldn't go around for myself like, oh, I'm independent, I don't need nobody, I don't want nobody. Like, you're literally saying, I don't want nobody, I don't want to be under the construct of another, I don't want to be in any energy that is not my own, and then wonder why you're pushing any good, worthy man away. Like Mel said, your femininity is the best thing that you can wear. I have recognized over this past year or two that my femininity has opened doors for me that my independence could never. My femininity has blessed me and my family and my life in ways that I could never even explain. I'm talking about things that seem like they could be so much coincidence and happenstance, but I don't believe in coincidence and happenstance. So I have truly believed that me operating more in my feminine energy and being conscious about it has actually helped to move me in the positions that I am, even financially. Women, don't think operating in your masculine energy is going to get you more money. Operating in your feminine energy makes you more money, because operating in your creative space, operating in where your mind goes, operating in the things that make you happy, the things that make you tick, that's when the world will open itself up for you. That's when God opens up the windows of heaven and pour things out on you. So don't think that just doing. Just focus on being your authentic, beautiful, feminine self, the way that God made you, operating that, and all the doors will open for you. I promise you that.
Yes.
Yes, Professor.
That was good. All right. Yes. Listen, co-host Mia, I'm going to come to you.
Yes, listen, that was really good. So I want to say, well, one of the things that I usually say is, which I think never gets old, which is be honest with yourself. Like, be completely honest with yourself. Know how to recognize what love is, not just what your idea is. Because sometimes we gyp ourselves. I know it's an old school word, but we really do. We kind of gyp ourselves out of God's best because we want to redefine what love really is instead of going by the true definition of it. And I suggest therapy. I think that everybody should at least see a therapist. I think that just like how you get wellness checks once a year, you may, go to the doctor for, OBGYN type of visit. Like, take time to go see a therapist. Allow someone who doesn't know you to measure where you are in your healing, in your wholeness, and in your femininity. So that is it. Love you guys.
Yes, ladies. Thank y'all so much. This was so dope. I am honored, as always, to be a host for the Queen Takeover. But the space that I'm in, as I'm sure y'all familiar with, probably tired of, but I don't care, is to heal. Healing has literally changed my life. Indulge in self-reflection. Be intentional in going inward and doing the shadow work. Shadow is evidence that there is light nearby and you are that light. So go inward and discover you. Oftentimes you'll realize that scream and that shout of independence is really a band-aid. You're really covering up parts of you that still hurt and you're afraid to address them. You're afraid to show people that they exist and you think you're going to chase people away. But I promise if you heal and you restore your value and rebuild your confidence, you will no longer need to wear the armor of independence. You will be vulnerable and open to what God, the universe, whoever you subscribe to, will send you. So if love is what you want, if love is what you desire, you have to do that inner work. You have to, and you have to forfeit just a little bit of that independence. So that is the last thing that I had to add to all this amazing feedback and all this amazing tips. And so, look, make sure that y'all check us out on Instagram, Facebook. We are on YouTube as DBDS Live. Go to the DBDS group on Facebook. Visit the website, share, like, subscribe. And until next time, ladies, I need y'all help taking us out in the Mel way. Let's get it done. And we out of here.